Welcome back, everyone. Got a match on attack this morning. It's a fairly whale-heavy matchup. I am using a new experimental build. This is a much more offensive-oriented build, including the horse. So we're going to see how this does, and I will list the build in detail in the description below. But the gist of it is mount up on the horse, do a bunch of damage, and use the banquet set and try to capitalize on some takedowns, essentially punishing their backline. Enemies coming in, so I do need to retreat just a hair. I'm going to go in, try to proc that as best I can, and get out. Wait for my team to regroup here. Ludra must think that I have something to support him. Run in. So I'm using the falling sword there to kind of throw it into their backline and then teleporting to it. Get a shield off on 0 if possible. And then once I'm behind them, I'm mounting up on the horse and essentially just, trying to be oppressive into their face. So we'll see how I do. I have not run this build at all prior to this, but it seems pretty straightforward from the way I designed it. So they have several coming on this left side. I'm going to throw my sword there. Pour it over as they run in. One of them was preemptively wraithed, but I still have cheat death, so I should make it out here. Try to get another sword into the back line there. Looks like it's bugged out. Do what I can. I will go down, but I'm trying to spread that dot. Not work out as foreseen in that case, but we'll keep working with it. And ideally, this build should thrive when we're kind of pushing past the objective. Get behind, get onto the back line, and attempt to get out, like I said. Do manage to kill from across the map. I had to sneak a bandage in there. Another kill. Banquet going to work there for me. Just interrupt what I can. I will most likely go down here by just trying to kind of stall, let this push up. So surely their team is going to now defend this, and we may be able to make a push over here. The longer we stall there, the better. They're going to run across, and that may give me the opportunity to kind of cut to the right. Shield my teammate there. See a fellow horseman there. And surprise, I'm also here. A little bit sooner than I wanted there. I was hoping to kind of teleport into them. So at first glance, I need a little bit more survivability here. I do have the Conjuration, but I need maybe some way to kind of take a few more hits. I may have to mess around and swap a few things out. First iteration isn't always perfect, but it's certainly enjoyable. Let Ludra bandage up. I can at least give him immunity here. If I can get them both, even better. And I'm going to go in now. As soon as I see them kind of do manage to take out and spread the dot on a couple of their whales there, if I can get the third one, even better. So really what I'm doing is looking at the minimap, throwing my sword, waiting for their players to come forward, and then basically just appearing on them, really trying to just catch them off guard. At this point, I want to play objective, which actually means I want to be on the other side and try to install them at the spawn. Remember, I'm doing this with only one badge since I've server transferred. So I'm doing this with a single 6% badge. And it would be much more effective if I had all the badges. My falling sword wore off a little bit earlier than I expected there. Surely not going to survive all the whales rotating. But we're kind of split pushing at this point and just working the idols up. And this is kind of the tactic that we'll need to utilize. And since I'm not full support, being on the opposite side of the two whales on my team is just fine. I just need to get up further of where I was there and really get up to the spawn to delay them so that a teammate can remain in this idle. So perhaps I don't try to catch them off guard this time. These Necros are just a little bit too much damage for me without badges. But if I can stall, hopefully the other side pushes. Not quite. So I may have to wait for more survivability, and whether that comes from something I can change in the build, or if that just comes from additional badges, either way will be fine. But absolutely enjoyable to play, a refreshing change of pace from the typical Crusader. I don't know why my team has swapped the lane they're pushing. Just using my Conjuration to delay and let that idol push. I don't know why nobody is up at the spawn. Typical morning match, though, I suppose. Nobody aware of what is needed to win the match, right? Just spread dot wherever I can. Other side is unoccupied, so I will rotate. And that's all it takes, just a little map awareness. And hopefully we can get into the heart. Must have had my 6-piece proc up at that point. Need to bandage, hopefully Ludra is aware. Good enough. Use my sword to catch up to him, get a banner, or excuse me, a conjuration off. And now I'll just attempt to run away in the opposite direction. Hopefully letting him get some damage on the heart. Very difficult to survive some of these whale necros without the badges, and probably in general for most players. As I've said before, necro is probably the strongest class at the moment. Despite the buffs to demon hunters, high-end whale necros are still very, very powerful. Spread it around, hit the heart. I will go down again, but I need to try to make some room for my team. 6 deaths remaining, and perfect. So playing a very funny, awkward role, but just trying to be oppressive and kind of in their face. Just making room for the other players in my team. Essentially able to pull it off, and difficult to say with all the whales and all the necros they had. Who knows? Maybe we shouldn't have won. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.